Hello, cinema peeps.
Oh. Hello, hello.
Happy Tuesday.
Ooh, yes indeed. Happy Tuesday. This will be the sleepy podcast where I take multiple naps during it. So. There's cutaways, that's why, because I fell asleep.
Well, it is one of those Tuesdays. I mean, you said it's nice on your end, but it's pouring rain and lightning and thundering on this end, which is suitable because tonight's The Flash, so that works, but...
Anywho's pickle. Well, last Sunday was Mother's Day, so this is happy belated Mother's Day to everybody's.
Yes, happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Right. And we thought it'd be a great idea to make a scavenger hunt.
In
outside
the snow.
In so yay.
Yay.
And for my mom still loves me, so I guess it worked.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Although, my mom was being very positive. She was like, well, if it's weather this bad, then nobody else is outside. I was like, I guess so. What a strange
the whole outdoors to ourselves.
Right? And she was like, look at all the birds. So I was like, all right, she's having a good time.
There you go. Perfect. That's all she needs.
Nailed it. And then brought her back home and we had tea.
Nice.
And I made that dessert for her.
Yeah, that dessert looked delicious.
It was pretty good. Pretty good.
It looked very yummy.
A trifle.
Trifle,
Not a trifold, which I kept calling it.
Trifold?
Yeah, those things you did in school. But a trifle. That's
nice.
what it is. It was very yums.
Well, good work. It looked delicious.
Thank you.
Nice.
But, how was your Mother's Day? Did you treat your mommy good with the good weather that you were given?
Yes, we did. We had a chill Mother's Day. But we enjoyed some time outside, and my sister and I made our mom some buckwheat pancakes with blueberries and lots of fruit and stuff, so she really liked that. And then we went and visited my grandma for a little bit, and then we came back and watched some movies. We watched Tarzan, because she felt like watching a Disney movie. So, we watched Tarzan. Which, honestly, I forgot. It's been a long time since I've seen Tarzan. Mm-hmm. I forgot how good of a movie it is. The soundtrack's amazing.
Phil Collins,
yep. What was the other movie we watched? Willow. We watched Willow. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
With the guy from Harry Potter?
Yeah, the guy from Harry Potter.
Yeah. I think I watched it once.
Yeah.
Very long time ago.
Yeah, it's an old movie.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good, though, like... It didn't, from what I read, it didn't do so well at the box office when it first came out, but I think it's, like, grown more of a, people love it more now that, because, I mean, at the time it was made, like, I was just thinking, as I was kind of going through all the facts reading about the movie, I'm like, there was a lot of, like, fantasy movies that were made in that same kind of time, like, there was Legend and Princess Bride, and, like, what was that other one? I can't remember. But there's a lot of fantasy movies around that time, so I could see how it probably maybe wouldn't have stood out. But I didn't realize George Lucas wrote the script for it, and Ron Howard directed it. And it sounds like a lot of the casts they used were like some of the people he had on Star Wars as well, which was cool.
It is interesting, like, how there are movies like that where you're like, oh, this is so good, and yet... Maybe when they were first released, it was, like, bad.
Right?
It either got, like, wasn't popular, or maybe it got, like, critically slammed.
Yeah.
But then now, like, I don't know, it's just because, like, people's tastes have changed, and just, like, how far we've come, and, yada yada.
Yeah.
We look back now, and we're like, oh, that was actually very good.
Right?
But apparently at that time, people were like, nah. Well, it's kind of crazy.
I feel like there's a lot to be said about, like, marketing and, like, hyping up a movie a lot, too. Because even, like, I was thinking to myself the other day, just completely random other movie, but, like, The Nun came out a few years ago. And I went and saw it, and at the time I was like, oh, what the heck? I don't like this at all. This was awful. This was horrible. And then last summer, I think, actually, I went and, like, rewatched it again. And I was like, this is actually really good. Like, I don't remember it being this good, but I actually enjoyed it the second time around. So sometimes I wonder if just, like, they build up your expectations so high for something, so then when you go to see it, you get let down, and then, you know, like, after kind of all the hype's died down and you've, like, seen a few other things or whatever, you walked away from it, you come back to it, and you're like, yeah, actually, you know what, this was pretty good.
Maybe. Well, going back to the idea, like you said, with Willow, like, it came out at a time when there were so many other fantasy films.
Yeah.
Like, maybe being lost in that fray. And I remember when I was watching the Building the Empire documentary about the making of the first 3 Star Wars films, which is actually very, very good. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but, like, that documentary is, like, very good. It's on Disney Plus if you guys want to watch it. But they were talking about how, like kind of like when Star Wars came out, there really wasn't any kind of like space opera-ish type films. Yeah. But then all of a sudden, they all came flooding in after that.
Right.
And I think even now, like, you can kind of see these weird waves of like films that are clearly very popular. So either they are trying to piggyback off that kind of success, or just, I guess, is a coinky-dink. Because there was those 2 films, they like were either released like the same year or within like a year of each other, and they had identical plots. What was it? One had Ashton Kutcher in it, and the girl from Grey's Anatomy that didn't do so well. She thought she was hot shit and then tanked. Katherine Heigl. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
And
Night and Day or something like that?
Yes, thank you. And then there was another one, but it was with Tom Cruise and somebody else, and it was like the exact same plot.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Like, actually, within a year of each other. It was so weird.
That reminds me, too, actually. If you go on Amazon Prime, okay, so you remember was it Palm Springs is the movie with Andy Samberg?
Yes.
Okay, so great movie. We both watched it, right? There's another movie on...
with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same plot line. I'm like, what is going on?
But it's like a rom-com, and like the name is so pretentious. I was like, oh my god.
Like, I saw that, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And then I started reading like the bio, and I'm like, this sounds exactly like the...
Only have one day to fall in love.
Yeah,
because you're living the same
like
day
the
over and over.
Palm Springs. What?
Right? And like in those cases, like I do wonder, I'm like, because you don't... And again, you don't know, like, how long a film has been in development for, right?
Yeah.
So you don't know, like, maybe this one was first, but it took so long to get off the ground or something, you know? Like, you don't know, but it is just so weird how... Because, Palm Springs just came out this January.
Yeah.
And this one just came out, 3 months apart? Like, what the fuck?
Right? Like, in a weird way, it's, like, it's kind of cool that, like... people have similar ideas, or like how what are the chances that like 2 very similar things, but at the same time too, it's kind of like, this is just a little weird,
right? Versus something like like when Twilight was really big, and then you just saw like a flood of vampire movies after that.
Like Warm Bodies. Oh my god, I watched that the other day. Did you ever see that?
I haven't seen them in a while, but I remember actually liking it, and I don't like zombies, so...
Right?
Like,
I rewatching it, I'm like, it's corny as hell, but it was so cute.
Especially the end, you're like, whoo!
Right?
Ooh, corny McCornville, get the popcorn poppin'. There's fucking corn. But, oh man. Yeah, I have to rewatch that one. That wasn't actually too bad.
Yeah, it's a decent one.
But what did we watch? Oh, so we watched Doctor Strange last night.
Nice. Yes.
And I remember even watching that, like, I remember being like, I really like this one. And it's still, like, a good film. Mm-hmm. But even watching it again now, I'm like, it's not as strong as I remember, at least in terms of plot.
Yeah.
In terms of visuals, like, it is out of this world bonkers.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they do a fantastic job with that. But there's, like, a couple moments where it's like, But, it was really funny. When we were watching Civil War... My mom, when they're fighting at the end, my mom's like, I can see both sides, guys. Why are we fighting? I was like, oh, mommy. But she said she liked it, so there you go.
That's good.
But then she always asks me, she's like, is that the Black Panther? And I sit there and be like, I don't know, mommy.
Right?
I don't want to be like, yes. Yes, it is, Mom.
I do that every time. Any friends or family, when I watch a movie with them and they start asking me, like, oh, is this gonna happen? Is this so-and-so? I'm like, I just do the whole...
Right? And I mean, sometimes I feel like it's rhetorical, because my mom can just predict movie plots like nobody's business.
Yeah.
She always sees stuff coming, so I'm just like, Mama, I don't know. I don't know.
You've got to wait and see.
Right? I'm trying to remember where... I don't know where we left off last time when we were talking about Marvel marathon. Oh, I think it was The Winter Soldier.
Yes, I think so.
We watched... I don't even remember. What was after that? Oh, yeah, Guardians, which is always good.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, classic.
But then then there was Age of Ultron.
Yes.
Which, again, my mom was like, so much destruction! I was like, Mom, it's just gonna get worse, so let's stop with the whole destruction, because it's gonna just happen, you're gonna have to accept it, and move on.
So now that you've watched Age of Ultron.
Yes.
So now that you've watched it, are there any, like, things that kind of went, okay, well, like, as far as, like, WandaVision goes?
100%. Well, maybe not in correlation with WandaVision, but more of just the whole MCU as a whole.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I just remember that when I watched the first time in theaters, I was kind of like, meh. And I was like, I don't get it. But then, like, now that we know kind of the whole universe, like, there's so many things that make sense. It's so weird, because even in that movie, Ultron predicts Thanos and the Infinity Stones coming, but it's, like, a brief clip. Like, it's definitely a blink and you miss it kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
But then I was like, oh, and so you realize... So then I was like, oh, he's trying to prevent that, in a way. Because he's like, he's gonna come and kill everybody else... And so he's like, if I kill everybody, restart the planet, you know, I'm saving everybody. And you're like, oh. So then there's more things that, like, make sense. I'm like, okay. All right. I don't think it's my most fave. And then I totally forgot the guy who was in... The villain in Black Panther is also in this movie. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Andy Serkis's character. And that's how he loses his arm, was in that movie. I totally blanked on that when Black Panther, when he was running around with a fake arm. I was like, another guy without an arm? What the fuck? So it is, like, funny, just, like, again, rewatching them all and, like, picking up on all these little details. And seeing that they always were leading up to Thanos and everything else. And then makes more sense in other movies. And I mean, to be fair, when they were coming out, like, I was just watching them. I think the only one I did, like, not even a marathon for was when The Winter Soldier came out. Me and my brother rewatched the first Captain America. But that's really as far as I got. Yeah. Like, when the Marvel movies were coming out every year, I was just going and watching them. I wasn't restarting a marathon to, like, be caught up. But now that we are kind of watching them like that, I'm like, oh, wow, there's so much. And I think we've always said there has been, but, like, seeing it all together, you're like, wow. Yeah. Holy shit, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, no kidding.
And, like, what was the other thing? And just seeing how much of a badass Black Widow is. I'm like, how did I forget any of this? Yeah. And now, like, I'm like, yeah, I hope she gets her own movie. I'm also like, why did it take this long to get her own goddamn movie? Yeah. What the fuck? Although I feel bad for her in, what was it, Civil War. Because she just had to, like, babysit everybody. She's like, Steve, how are you doing? Yeah. Tony, how are you doing? But I felt kind of bad, because I felt like she had to be, like, the weird mediator, and I was like, this is not what Black Widow is meant for. She's not picking up after these guys' mess. She's Black Widow!
So I guess that's kind of, like, the cool thing in retrospect now, because, like, at the time, when all these movies came out, there was such a gap between them all that it was hard to really kind of understand what was going on as a whole, so that's the kind of beauty, I guess, now of being able to see them all and have access to them all on Disney Plus, is you get that full story all together, and it just kind of, you get the full appreciation of it all.
Right. Because what was it? Because now after Doctor Strange, we're taking a slight detour off of Disney Plus, and we're gonna watch SpiderMan Far From Home. Or no, not Far From Home, sorry, Homecoming.
Homecoming, yeah.
Yeah. Because I didn't realize that one, so that one came out in 2017. Guardians also came out in 2017. And Thor Ragnarok, all in the same year.
That's right, yeah.
So did you... I remember we talked about this podcast a long time ago, but did you... With, oh my god. Donald Glover's character in Spider-Man Homecoming, he does mention Miles there, right?
Okay, hold on. I gotta go back in my brain and, like, think about it. Because I remember that part, and I remember listening for it. But I don't think he says...
I thought he said he had a nephew. Well, when I watch it, I'll let you know. When I get to that part, I'll just, like, film it.
Yeah, just Snapchat it.
Yeah, I'll just send it to you.
Yes.
Although, I guess it's not, like, a new thing, but, like, 2 big trailers kind of dropped this week. I don't know if you've watched them yet.
No. What ones?
So, the first one was like the minimum of teaser trailers for season 4 of Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I saw it. I have not seen it, but...
Oh my god!
It was on... Okay, I follow... I'm sorry.
Don't even.
She's not talking to me anymore. No, okay. The story is...
Okay.
It was on... I follow the... Totally random, but I follow the hairdresser who does the hair for the kids on Stranger Things on Instagram, because she made some cool posts and like some cool behind the scenes stuff with everybody while she was filming. So I followed her, and she would post teasers all the time too, like when the third one came out, when the second one came out. So I saw on her story that she posted something about it, and I kind of had to do a double take because I wasn't sure, and then I heard it, like I saw the text say like, "11, are you listening?" or whatever, and then I got distracted and just never ended up watching it and forgot about it, so I gotta go watch it.
Well then, okay. Like I said, it's like a most minimum, like you could probably watch it right now. It's like, I think only 30 seconds.
Okay.
It's not that long. I think just the biggest thing, it's not really a spoiler, but I guess the biggest thing, because I had to read about it, because I was like, I don't know. But the guy, who I already forgot his name, the guy who called himself Dad or Papa or whatever, is supposedly back. I think that's the guy, supposedly. Yeah. They said Matthew whoever. They, like, name-dropped him, and I'm like, I'm sorry, who? Like, it's been a long year. It's been I don't know.
The doctor or whatever, right?
Yeah, so supposedly he's coming back, I guess. But
okay.
But there's definitely, like, I don't want to say too much, and again, it's short, so it really doesn't matter, but, like, I'm getting the vibe that we're going to be, again, focusing on the other experience, because obviously she's number 11, so there's more, and we met number 8, right? In season 2?
Yeah.
Which was funny, because I feel like that was one of everyone's least favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, because I remember in the beginning of the season when they kind of teased that, I was, like, pumped. I was like, yeah, because there's more than one of them, so, like, I want to see all these their kids' powers. But they really only used it for, like, 10 seconds, and you're like,
yeah.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. So, I mean, I'm still excited if that's maybe where this season's going, but... we'll see.
Yeah, it would make sense, because they've kind of pretty much wrapped up the story of, like, 11 and Mike and, like, all the kids and stuff like that. There's really not much more they could do unless it's, like, you know, seeing them...
Oh my god, it's back again! I don't know how.
We gotta go back again, yeah.
Guys, upside down! We gotta go upside down!
So yeah, it'll be cool if they... Even if they... I don't know, could they incorporate... well... Okay, now it's all flooding back to me. Because they still have to explain what happened to Hopper. Because he's still technically alive.
Yes, in
Or at least
Russia.
they've insinuated he's alive.
Yeah.
So they have to... So I wonder if that's going to be a...
Right, so I'm wondering if it's going to be trying to find Hopper / running into these kids, maybe.
Or, like, he stumbles upon them and then he helps them because he helped 11.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Again, like I said, it's like the teaser of teasers, you know, so... That's why, like, when you kind of were saying, like, oh, I had to take a double take, I did as well, kind of. They were like, oh, yeah, new trailer. I just assumed it was fake.
Yeah.
Like, right off the bat, I was like, that's probably fake.
Yeah,
probably fake.
Yeah.
So, there was that one. The other one, which, just weird, funny story off the bat, is for the new Venom movie, Let There Be Carnage.
Oh, yeah.
So I clicked, because I saw it on YouTube, so I clicked the video to watch the trailer, and the ad that played was the trailer. They're like, the new starting now, and I was like, wait, is this and it was an ad, so I was like, skip, and then I just played it on YouTube. So first of all, that was fucking weird.
Yeah, give the video itself the views, not the ad.
Right, that's how I looked at it. It was still very bizarre.
Wow, that's so weird.
But yeah, I think that one's coming out later this year, I think.
Cool.
I'm already blanking on it. And has Woody Harrelson, yeah. He is Carnage. And I know very little, but from what I remember, it's like Carnage is kind of the same thing as Venom, like the weird entity space goo.
Yeah, isn't he like the red version or something?
Yeah. As a kid, I was like, oh, it's just the red version. It's fine. But my brother, like, grew up, he loved Venom and Carnage.
Okay.
And somehow, apparently, Carnage is even more evil than Venom. Whereas I feel like Venom, in my mind, and again, I wasn't as invested, so don't sue me or anything. But from what I remember, like, at least in these movies, and it seems like more current media, they're trying to make Venom more of an anti-hero.
I was gonna say, yeah.
You know? Versus Carnage, I guess, who has always been very evil. But I know, like, in the... I think it was in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon show, which is very dope, has a dope intro, but I only watched bits and pieces of it, but it was dope as hell. I think in that one, Venom and Spider-Man have teamed up a couple times to take down Carnage, because apparently he's even worse somehow.
Interesting.
And, again, I don't know if it's true, but from what I remember, I think Carnage at one point was a part of Venom and separated, or they either came from the same space rocking goo. Like, it's been a while, okay? That is what I vaguely remember. And it seems like that's maybe what they're going for in this film, potentially.
Okay.
Or at least in the trailer, like, Eddie Brock is, like, trying to figure out how to live with Venom inside of him. And it's just a little weird. But again, I didn't really grow up with, like I said, my brother, like, really loved Venom. So, like, I remember him, like, collecting the toys and, like, occasionally seeing it. But, like, I wasn't invested.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, like, it just seemed, like, this just seems very odd.
Okay.
But that's just me. And
is Tom Hardy still?
He's still, yeah.
Okay.
And I think Girlfriend makes appearance, or Michelle, I was gonna say Michelle Pfeiffer, but not even close.
Oh yeah, Michelle,
Okay, good. We're gonna pretend, yeah.
That lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
She's in it. It seems, and again, it just seems very weird to me. I remember even when the first Venom came out, I was like, it's kind of cool, I guess, that it's a villain. But again, anti-hero.
Anti-hero, yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially, like, with Deadpool. Like, with Deadpool and everything, right?
Yeah.
But I feel with, like, Deadpool, they definitely more leaned into his humor. What
Totally.
he's known for. So I think it works really well. So I think when Venom came out, it was definitely like, how is this going to work? Because he's not really known for his comedy chops, you know? He is a villain. Sure.
All right, cinema peeps, that's the end of this episode. If you like this episode, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and, you know, leave a comment. If there's anything that, resonated with you in what we talked about today, drop us a comment below. If there's anything you'd like us to talk about in future episodes, also leave us a comment. Otherwise, have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you next week.
Heck yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Monkey.
Monkey.